Welcome to January's Leetcode challenge. Today's problem is boats to save people. Classic problem. The ith person has weight people I, and each boat can carry a max weight of limit. Now each boat carries at most 2 people at the same time, provided the sum of the weight of those 2 people is at most limit. Return the minimum number of boats to carry every given person. Now it is guaranteed that each person can be carried by a boat, so that's good. We don't need to worry about a person being bigger than the limit here. Now, the very first approach you might think is to do something recursively. Maybe we can do like backtracking. We would take like combination of 2 people and pop those off the list and continue that recursion and then backtrack by adding those 2 people back onto the list. But that's I'm not even sure if that would work, but either way, that's going to be a exponential time complexity. It's just going to take too long. So let's not go with that. Let's think about this a little bit more intuitively and see if there's a better solution. So let's just say we had this example here. If we wanted to figure out how to minimize the number of boats, what do we want to do? Well, we know that we could carry at least 1 heavy person, right? The heaviest person we could put onto the boat at least once. Now, the question then is, since it's a maximum of 2 people on each boat, can we fit another person? And what we could do is just get the lightest person. We could sort this list by ascending order, have 2 pointers, and check to see, can we put both these people on the boat? And if we can, then we could increment our start pointer and decrement our end pointer. If we can't fit both these people, then we know that the only person we can put on is that heavy person. We can, like for instance here, we could only put on the person 3 with a limit of 3, and then we just decrement that end pointer and keep our start pointer at the beginning there. Now, how do we know that this is gonna minimize number of boats? Well, there's a mathematical reason behind it, but if you just think about it intuitively, like if we have the heaviest person, who do we want to put on with him? Like obviously we want to put on the lightest person there, because the next heaviest person, we wouldn't want to try to put the lightest person with that person as well. Otherwise, if we can't put that heavy person, then we could only put on, or we can't put on 2 people, then we could only put on that heavy person, right? So that's going to be our approach. What we'll do is have 2 pointers, and we are going to sort our list, and then we'll do a while loop and check to see if we can fit both. Check to see if we can fit both, and if we can't, then we'd only put in 1. Okay, so let's start this approach here. First thing we'll do is initialize 2 pointers, call it start and end. This will be 0, and this will be the length of people, and we have to -1 because of the 0 index. Now we want to also sort our list to make sure that we are doing this correctly. Now while start is less than or equal to end, what do we want to do? We want to first check to see if we can put on both people, right? So if people start plus people end, if it's less than or equal to limit, then we are going to increase our start pointer and decrease our end pointer. Otherwise, what do we want to do? We only decrease our end pointer. And we could just make it look like this, because that would be the same thing. And also make sure that we increase our boats to 1. And I should initialize that up here, starting with 0. Once that's finished, we just return boats. All right, so let's see if this works. This example, that looks like it works. So let's submit that and accept it. So time complexity wise is mostly here. This is going to be n log n. Otherwise, everything else is just n because it's 2 pointers. And I don't think we use any extra memory. It's really just this sort that takes the bulk of the time complexity. All right, so that's it. This is actually a harder problem than it looked, but once you know the solution, I think it's pretty easy to implement. One of the other things I think about is, what if we had more people allowed on the boat, like 3 people or 4 people? How would that algorithm work? And my guess is it would be something similar, but with a double while loop, possibly a queue involved. Anyway, thanks for watching my channel, and remember, do not trust me, I know nothing.